guys, welcome to the DorkFish Brothers channel. I'm DorkFish Nana, and I had promised to show you guys how to make sofrito because I use it in everything. So I'm going to be chopping up some items, basic items that you see me use a lot, and make that for you. And you'll probably see a lot more of me as the summer rolls on. The boys seem to be enjoying their summer. They enjoy their channel, but they're like, okay, Nana, you do something and we're going to do it later. So I'll do what I can in between. I hope you guys are enjoying the cooking videos and cooking along with me. And I will start on this and I'll be back shortly. Thank you. Okay, you guys, you see me with these a lot. I'm going to be, I cored these. So I'm going to be taking out the core and the seeds on these. I'm going to be using cilantro, fresh cilantro, and fresh onions. I also use some chopped green onions. I tend to make things my own way. I don't necessarily, I know I said all the time, I don't necessarily follow a recipe. So my husband kind of lives in between his Spanish culture and my African American culture. And so I mix things up kind of my way. And then I love these. I use this, one of my go-tos. So I'm going to be incorporating all this together. I'm going to be adding in some oil, and we'll mix this up, and you're going to find that you can use this in making your rice, putting in your beans. I put it on fish, salmon, almost anything that you can use this in, and it'll give it a nice flavor. So I'm going to chop it up, and then I'll show you as I start to process it. Okay, thanks. So you guys, with the cilantro, I usually, you want to pick through it and make sure you get everything out and that it's nice and fresh in there. The stems, I had a dilemma with these, but because I use them in a blender or the food processor and it chops it up really well, it still gives it nice flavor. So I use the stem. You may not find this happening with anyone that generally makes sofrito. So, but I do use this in mine. And I chop it up really nice and get all of the, get all the old stems out to make sure that those aren't in here. And then I mix these up. I spent a lot of time with my husband's grandmother when I was in Puerto Rico. I lived over there for a little bit. And I didn't speak Spanish and she didn't speak English. So I watched her a lot. And we would just giggle while we were in the kitchen. And so I had to pay attention if I was going to learn how to cook any of her goodies. And so I do put olives sometimes in mine. She probably would go, what are you doing? I did not do that. So I'm going to be mixing it up, like I said, like I do. Kind of a fusion cook. And getting this all together. Getting it all together. But I wanted you guys to know that if you want to use this portion and the ends are good, feel free to use them. They're going to chop up really good. And when you put it in your meats and all of that stuff, you're not going to have any roughness or anything in those at all. Okay? Ooh, this is a little strong. I did get it peeled and everything. Of course, it's an onion. You know how to cook. I was going to say, a lot of the dishes that we make in our family, we name the dishes after a family member, something that they made that we were accustomed to them making. I'm going to move this over because it's burning my eyes. And we do this because we wanted the kids to know their family members, past and present. So when we make items, we have like my mom, Grandma Della's sweet potato pie, my sister Maymay's potato salad and meatloaf. I think it's good, or it's something you might want to try with your own family just to keep the culture going, so that the kids can spread it down the line and they'll know who did what, and they keep them alive by keeping their memories and their foods alive. So it's just something to think about. The other thing that we do with the kids is if we watch a movie, I tend to pick like the children's movies, animation they like a lot. I will make the foods that's in the movie while they're watching the movie. So we had Paddington, and we had Marmalade, of course, and then we had Gumbo, of course, in one of the videos, The Princess and the Frog. And so I tend to do that. So it makes it fun, when you're with the kids and stuff and you're doing things. And you're also teaching them and giving them memories as you go, and you're spending time with them as well. So hopefully they're going to remember that as they grow up. I remember it from my grandmother. And on one of the videos we did hot chocolate, and my grandson was, they knew that it came in a pack, but when my grandmother was in, and alive with this, they didn't have packages, instant packages of stuff or microwaves. And so that was how they made things from scratch. So we always called it Granny's hot chocolate. So anything that we're making, we do that for the kids, so that they have the memories of their loved ones and their family members and friends. So I thought I'd like to share that with you. Something to think about. You guys might want to try. The other thing that we do with the kids is we have family members. We all have one that has some type of saying. So I just recently lost my dad, and that was really hard on all of us. My mom and dad were married for 71 years, and so this is her first year without my dad, all of us. And so the kids know quotes of things that my dad said. And so I think it's a good idea if you just kind of, for your own family, you can take quotes and things that they say and write it down in a book, or just put it in their memory by having discussions and talking about them. That's another thing we do with the kids, just to create some memories. So I know this video started out as we're gonna do some Sofrito. We still are, but I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we do in our family traditionally, so that you maybe some things that you want to do with your family as well. So guys, I'm almost done chopping up everything. Olives are used a lot in the Spanish culture, and pimentos. Almost lost it there. And but they don't generally use this in their sofrito because I like the taste of olive oil. I knew that I would like olives in my sofrito, and that's the thing I was telling you guys. If you like something, it's okay. You can incorporate those things and you're gonna like it. It's kind of hard to mess anything up when you're doing it that way. So anyway, I'll be adding in some olives and with pimento and into my blend so that you guys will be able to see that. So I'll be rolling it all together in just a moment. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna start with my oil. As you know, whenever I may have said food processor, I meant blender. If you start with like dry ingredients, you want to add some type of liquid. So I usually start out with my oil and I incorporate it in, and then, and then I go on with some cilantro, just a little bit of that down in there, and some bell pepper and onion will follow this. No rhyme or reason to it, just get it all in there and get it chopped up. Let's see here. So this is basically what I'm doing, just incorporating it in. I know most of you know how to cook, but for those of you that are kind of new and young, they're still just learning, or some of you old ones that didn't learn. I'm gonna just kind of walk through some things and show you how to do that. We had a little joke going during the rough season, staying at home during COVID, about what things were important, and I think everyone probably learned how important it is to know how to cook. So for some of the friends that we have that didn't cook, and we call them COVID cooks, they learned how to cook. And so that's what I've been doing with the grandkids, is like, you need to know how to cook. And so they're pretty good at getting in the kitchen with me. So I'm going to chop this up because it's loud. I'm going to go ahead and chop it up and put all the ingredients in. I think I showed them all to you. And then I'll be right back. So guys, the other thing that I generally put in here as well, and like I said, anything that you like, is garlic. I didn't use fresh garlic today. I just used like a garlic seasoning. I don't cook, even though I season heavy, I don't cook with a lot of salt. Just what's in a product, basically, and I try to watch that. I cook with a lot of powders. You're going to see garlic powder, onion powder, tomato powder. Those things are a little bit better for you. So it depends on your taste buds and what you like, of course. But I do try to refrain from using as much salt as possible. And then each person can salt it as they, desire, when they're ready to eat. So, but yes, you can add garlic into this one as well. But again, today I didn't do that. I just used I usually use a powder, or I use like a garlic seasoning. But like I said, not too much salt. Okay, you guys, so it's all made. Makes a nice size container. And I usually put it in a metal container. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the canisters that come in like stainless steel that have the lid. Some of those have a seal. Those keep it really, really cold if you're going to keep it for a while. That's a good way to store it. Or I use one of these jars with the clamp down lid. And it also has a rubber seal. And you can keep it in your fridge. It doesn't last long around my house, so I'm making it all the time. But I say up to 2 to 3 weeks safely. If you're not using it all at the time, I think you may be able to freeze it. I haven't personally tried to do that, but I don't see how that would be a problem. And just portion it out, so that you'll be able to use it like in ice cubes or whatever. Ice cube trays. Our little small containers, you can do it that way, and just kind of defrost it and then just drop it into whatever it is that you're making. But anyway, I'm going to be putting in this jar. I'm going to be putting it in this jar, and you'll see, how I have it nicely sealed and everything. And that's how we make sofrito, and this is what you hear me talking about all the time. I use it in everything. Thanks, guys, for staying with me. Okay, you guys, so this is it all packaged up. Gonna keep it in the fridge, like I said, up to 2 to 3 weeks safely. Again, freeze it if you like in little ice cube trays or little containers, so you can pull it out and use it as you need. And this is the sofrito that I took a combination of what my husband's grandmother taught me and incorporated some of my own things into there. And it gives great flavor to your food: meat, chicken, fish, beef, whatever you like to use it on, and especially rice. So, okay, thanks for staying with me. See you in the next video. Hey, you guys, welcome back to the channel. I just kind of snuck outside a little bit after making the sofrito. My husband's barbecuing a little bit over there. I'm going to sneak in on him. He's making some ribs. So I'm going to go see what he's doing over there while I'm sitting here enjoying myself and lounging. So, sir, you want to tell us about your famous ribs?
Famous ribs. Right now I'm using sazon, and I'm going to spritz it with a mixture of apple cider vinegar and rotate 3 racks of ribs.
So, man. Yummy, yum. That's a nice seasoning on there. So, okay, guys, thanks for staying with us today. I hope you enjoyed the sofrito video. And the boys should be back with this on the next video. They've been out enjoying themselves a little bit. And so we shall talk to you soon and see you in the next video. Bye.